Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Day in Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So, not surprisingly, the devil bus, as I like to call it, because it's caused us so many unforeseen headaches during the time it's been in our hands. I think it's cursed. It may literally be the devil's bus. The owner's a super nice guy. He's not the devil, but I think the devil may actually own this bus, or at least be putting bad vibes into it. Anyway, so let me back up a little bit. We started the day off by doing some pretty serious shop organization. Those of you that watch the channel regularly probably remember that this wall just was like solid boxes and stuff along here that were, it was like pile of stuff that was sticking out probably a good, I don't know, foot and a half or so. And so all the cars had to kind of be that way accordingly. And in order to fit 10 cars in the shop, which is our sweet spot, so to speak, we got to put 4 cars across here and then 3 across here, of which there's only 2 at the moment, but and then 3 across here. And of course, there's only 2 there across at the moment. But yeah, we can do 3 and 3. And then, we still have to move them during the day to make room to work on them and stuff. But yeah, so we took all the stuff that was in here and moved a lot of it up to there, stuff that we don't necessarily want to get rid of, but we don't routinely need it. Some of it's some of Rafa's personal stash for an Acrossa motor that he may or may not build someday. So anyway, yeah, so cleared this out except kind of the essentials, our vacuum, our canister for used oil, stuff like that. But yeah, what that allowed us to do is kind of, these 2 buggies are almost done actually. This one needs interior. This one pretty much needs to be started and driven and have the 2 seats bolted down, but they're like done enough. They were pretty comfortable squeezing them in a little bit here. Certainly easy to get them out as needed. But what that did was that gave us enough room to have the Barndoor here and the mouse gray here and have plenty of room between them to work. And this actually works out really well having this big space here because the Barndoor, being a right-hand drive, has its cargo doors on this side. So as far as like loading and unloading stuff from the car, easy access here. And then likewise, the mouse gray, being a regular left-hand drive, its cargoes are also opening into this space. So it actually worked out really well. And so plenty of room to work on these 2 babies now, which are going to be sitting in these 2 spots for quite a while. These are both fairly long-term projects. This one not as long as that one, but still both fairly long-term. Anyway, speaking of the mouse gray bus, let's take a minute to absorb the work that's been done here. So this bus has been over at Octavio's shop for I don't know, I lost track of time. A couple weeks maybe. They've been working on it off and on, but as you can see, the vinyl ragtop is on and looks amazing. The cloth headliner is in, also looks amazing. The seat covers have been installed. So Octavio and team didn't make any of this. These seat covers are from Deutsche Polster, and as is the cloth headliner. What they did make is they did make the vinyl top from scratch, but everything else on here was a kit that the owner provided. Anyway, so yeah, they went and put those covers on the seats, and then we had previously done a lot of repair work on the seat frames and then sent them out for powder coating. So seat frames look great now, and the seats look great because they've been all upholstered. And likewise, the bench, or excuse me, the walkthrough seats here, the walkthrough upholstery all in there, all looking good. Seats, grab handles, everything looks killer. The back carpet, which was also provided. Oh, and then the panels. Let's not forget the panels. So the panels all came from Clara, who makes a lot of really, really nice panels for buses. And so, yeah, so those are Claras. Pretty much everything else is Deutsch Polster, with the exception of the vinyl top itself, which is 100% Octavio. But Octavio and team installed everything. So anyway, there you go. But yeah, came out incredible. Looks really, really good. And yeah, it speaks for itself. So yeah, the mouse gray is back in our hands now for us to start working our magic on. So probably one of the first things we'll do on here, now that we have it back, is go ahead and start wiring it. That's usually something we do pretty early in the process, before the suspension and stuff is there, because you're pulling wires up underneath there and routing wires. Not a whole lot of wires under here, but like in the engine compartment and stuff back there, it's just easy to do all that when there's no drivetrain or suspension on there. So the wiring will be one of the first things, and then from there, probably installing the transmission, assembling, installing the front suspension. This thing will go pretty fast. The owner did a decent amount of assembly on it already. He's got the handles in. They all are just kind of in, I think, loosely, so we have to go back in and install them permanently and make adjustments and stuff. But he obviously installed the Deluxe trim and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of those things are already done. And yeah, he's even got the front turn signals on, a nose badge, stuff like that. So yeah, this one will start moving along pretty rapidly now. Getting the whole interior done, huge deal, especially on a bus, because there's so much interior in these cars. So there you go. There's the mouse gray. Missed it while it was gone. Now it's back, and we're excited to dive into it. So this guy, Rafa, did work on it a little bit today. He did remove the muffler the rest of the way. I think I mentioned we're going to try an Arboth muffler and see if it's going to work for the plans that we have in mind for it. So I'm going to see if I can get my hands on one of those, at least for like test fitting and some measurements and stuff. And then we're actually going to put blinking turn signals on the back of this bus. So we'll probably install a separate switch from the turn signals, or excuse me, from the semaphore. So the semaphores will still work with their normal switch. And then we're thinking about actually putting a cool accessory turn signal switch on the column. One of the ones that has the red tip that lights up when you go to make a turn with it. And then Rafa took the bulb holders out of here, which were in really bad shape, and restored them. And then he added bulb holders to them that can take a dual filament bulb. So really cool little touch as far as putting those on there. And then the front, I think we may do something on the front, like hook up the city lights, which are inside the headlight housings, hook those up and have those flashlight turn signals. So I don't know, we got some ideas. We always have lots of ideas, and we have fun doing this stuff and being creative and making stuff even cooler than it already is, which is a pretty tall order for this bus, because man, cool. This car, we, as part of moving and cleaning, we went ahead and pulled it out of the corner. Poor thing had been kind of stuffed back there for a while. It's sitting on its feet now, so to speak. So I got a couple little things I got to do on the motor on this, and then he wants 1-inch white walls and his wheels powder coated, painted, etc. So that's up next on this. So yeah, I'll probably try and finish this car up pretty soon here. I mean, kind of dragging my feet on it a little bit, so I need to just I need to actually make a little part for his air cleaner on my lathe at home, and some little things like that I've been kind of neglecting doing. But yeah, I got to get this guy his car back. So yeah, this is now sitting up here where I can't not think about it and think, hey, I need to finish this guy's car. So there it is, and it's not hiding back there at like out of sight, out of mind anymore. So. And it's a bitchin' looking car anyway. I know a lot of viewers think this is, or say this is their favorite car in the shop at the moment. And yeah, what's not to love about an original black 63 ragtop Beetle? Pretty much a perfect driver. Okay, Devil Bus. So, This car I had also been kind of neglecting because it does have such a history of just being a giant pain in our ass. So I've been kind of putting it off, taking it for like its maiden, like real test drive. I'd driven it maybe, 50 feet before in the parking lot, from the parking lot into the shop. And, it seemed okay. So today, after we, moved it around and got it out of the shop and stuff like that, I said, okay, I just got to do this. So we drove it around the parking lot some. It felt great, looked great. And then took it out on a road test and, kind of short road test, and brought it back and, adjusted the carb, adjusted the timing, kind of rinse and repeat that a few times, getting it kind of dialed in. But then when we had it parked, we noticed a pretty big oil leak from under the motor. And it was leaking enough that when last time I pulled the bus into the shop, Rafa pointed out there was like a drip on the floor every maybe 5 feet or so. Like, that's about how bad it was dripping. And then when it sat for a few minutes, a pool formed, maybe that big. And I don't know, maybe more than a few minutes, but it's yeah. And so we looked at it, and it looked like it was coming not from the drain plate, which would have been the easiest way. But of course, with this bus, nothing is ever the easiest way. And so here it is. We pulled it out because it's got some kind of leak coming from back there, which does not seem to be the front main seal. Maybe down there by the cam bearing or the cam, cover. I don't know. And then it seems to have another little leak right here on top, which isn't a bad one. And I don't know if that one would ever really drip onto the ground, but there's something big going on, maybe on the bottom of the case back here. So I think I'm going to take this motor to its builder, who is the same builder that built the Cowlook engine that he has back now, trying to put it back together after that fiasco. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, check back an episode or two. Actually, I think yesterday's episode, and you can see that. But yeah, so this one's also going back to him, and I think we're going to take it back as a complete motor like this, and put it up on his test stand or whatever, and say, hey, find the leak. Because this motor is from that same builder, but we didn't have it built. The customer had the motor built. So literally nothing to do with us as far as that's concerned. He worked independently. So we're not really doing this work for free per se, because we didn't have the motor built. It's not, I hate to say this, it's not really our responsibility, but it's our responsibility now to get it fixed. So anyway, it's just, 2 motors in 2 days is a bit much. I may need a drink tonight. I may need a few drinks tonight because, the good news though is that once we resolve the leak, this bus is a bitchin' driving bus. I mean, this thing, the brakes are awesome. It goes down the road straight. This little 36 feels great for a 36 horsepower motor pulling a heavy ass bus with reduction boxes. This car drives really nice. So, once we get this oil leak taken care of, then I think this bus is finally, crossing my fingers, you guys probably knew that was coming. I think this bus is going to be done, and it's going to drive, and everything is awesome as it looks. And maybe the devil will finally release his grip on it. And so hopefully this is it here, getting these oil leaks fixed, and then put the motor back in, which on a bus, it's kind of easy because you can pull it out. Much easier than on a Beetle anyway. But yeah, there you go. No engine. So that's it, guys. This was kind of a long episode today. Lots to talk about. Busy day in the shop. We spent like 3 hours doing all this and moving cars around. We had literally, I think every car was out of our shop except the red buggy and the truck. Literally every other car was out of the shop at some point this morning while we were cleaning and moving things around and stuff. So yeah, we spent like 3 hours today from like 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Doing that, but totally worth it because all the space that we have now for working on these beauties was totally necessary. Anyway, that's enough of me yapping at you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks to anyone who stuck it out to the end. Again, I know this one was kind of long, but there was a lot to talk about. So with that, I will say goodbye, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.